Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to a brand new episode of alaunesports. As always, available on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts with your host, myself, Mike, and my brother Richie. As always, this is the first time I'm like basically hosting, so it's a little bit awkward for me. But
Is it? Is it?
no, no, no. On today's topics, we're mostly going to be like it's going to be a short and sweet episode. We're going to mostly be talking about Chelsea's current situation with their $1 billion assembled squad, basically, and Jude Bellingham's hot start at Real Madrid so far. Two out of two wins for Real Madrid and some good goals for the young man that just came from Dortmund, and a lot of spotlight around him right now in Real Madrid. And this is episode 65, right, Richie?
That's correct, Mr. Wetz.
How you doing? How you doing, Rich?
I'm doing good, man. It was a tough day. It was my first day back at work after a week vacation. So you know how this goes when you go to the office. They be like, how was your vacation? But in the back of their mind, they're telling you, ooh, you got so much work today. I was drained with work because like a lot of follow-ups and stuff like that. But and yeah, man. But
All right.
we're here.
Facts.
Pod.
Alrighty. All right. Before we begin and get into the main topics, let's just delve in, do a quick little roundup of the results at the weekend. Week 2 of Spanish La Liga, like as we said, started on Friday with Villarreal beating Mallorca 1-0 and Valencia beating Las Palmas 1-0. Saturday, we had the Real Madrid game versus Almeria. Vinicius finally gets off the board, and a double for the main man, it seems, at Real Madrid nowadays, Jude Bellingham, 3-1. Real Sociedad versus Celta Vigo, 1-1. Osasuna versus Athletic Bilbao, 2-0 for Athletic Bilbao. And yesterday, Barcelona versus Cadiz, 2-0 victory for Barcelona. It's been a little rough for Barcelona, I would say, to start the beginning of the season so far. They're beefing with refs and teams are parking the bus against them, it seems like. But they got that victory. So
And they got a young guy also, like the 16 years old Yamal.
Yeah,
This is looking very good.
Rafinha thought he was gonna be the man.
It's like we got competition, bro.
Girona versus Getafe, 3-0 for Girona. Betis versus Atletico Madrid ended in a draw, and another man of the match performance from Isco, ex-Real Madrid player who's been out of football for what?
Yeah.
7 or 8 odd months, and
he's just coming back and killing these people. Like, okay.
Class is permanent, still got it, baby. I'm glad for him. And today we had to finish off the second week of La Liga. We had Alaves versus Sevilla. Goal fest in that one. Alaves won 4-3, and Granada versus Rayo Vallecano, 2-0 victory for Rayo Vallecano or Vallecano
for Sevilla.
Yeah. Would you like me to go next? Italy or Germany?
Germany.
All right. In the German Bundesliga, we had Bayern Munich on Friday that beat Bremen 4-0 with Harry Kane's first goal coming for the club. Big moments for him. I'm not gonna lie to you, Richie. At times, man, that man looked lost.
I was gonna say sometimes like his mouth was like
that
and
man
then his placement were like a little bit horrible too.
Yes.
But it is his first game, so he's gonna figure it out.
Yeah, hopefully he does. But it seems like just like Marcus Rashford playing the number 9 role for Manchester United right now with like the possession based dominant game. I go back to the you know the hero of West Ham, Michael Antonio, saying like, "Yo, and David Moyes systems, you got to feed on scraps, man." Like Marcus Rashford and Harry Kane. It seems like they're gonna have to feed on scraps, man, because those wingers and the midfielders, they
They,
ain't
they
looking for, they ain't looking for them boys.
I feel like he's gonna have to like kind of like like in basketball terms pick his spots, know when to drop. Cause like the first goal was like a pass by him.
Mhm.
I don't remember if it was a counter attack situation. He was at the right moment, but there's some situations sometimes when they were building up, and he was dropping, and he was like next to Goretzka, and then it felt a little bit awkward because like Goretzka was like, okay, here's the ball. Okay, here's the ball. Like, okay, I see you want some. He sometimes he would drop some position and get some touches. I feel like he just wanted to get the touch, like just to get involved, because like you said,
Yep.
the wingers were really dominant. Like I was like, bro, like
Yeah.
get him across, like get him some.
Everything was Leroy Sané or Coman.
Come
Like
on, yeah.
that was
But
and
he's gonna
Jamal
figure it out.
and
He's a world class striker. He's gonna figure out how
yeah,
to.
100%. And Musiala, but so far, like the way I
Musiala be
thought.
doing too much sometimes, bro. Like, bro, like release the ball, man. Like, but he's a talented lad. So
Yeah. On Saturday we had Leverkusen versus RB Leipzig, who actually won the Dutch Super Cup versus Bayern in convincing fashion with a hat trick from
Zabi Alonso ball.
Leverkusen won 3-2 versus RB Leipzig. Augsburg versus Gladbach goal fest that ended in a 4-4 draw. Hoffenheim versus Freiburg 2-0 win for Freiburg versus Hoffenheim. Stuttgart versus Bochum, who just lost their captain. It seems that didn't phase them at all. Stuttgart
Nope.
won 5-0. Wolfsburg versus Heidenheim. That's a team that just got promoted, I'm pretty sure, because I've never seen that name before. Wolfsburg won 2-0. Dortmund versus Cologne. Dortmund won 1-0 with a goal by Daniel Malen, who I really wish that Real Madrid would try to sign because they need a striker. But, that's another topic for another day, probably,
Yes,
maybe.
sir.
Union Berlin on Sunday versus Mainz. Union Berlin won 4-1. Frankfurt versus Darmstadt. Goal by Rondo. The lone goal in that game by Rondo Colomwani. They won 1-0. And apparently,
Colomani was very like close to joining PSG.
yeah, and apparently, Stuttgart. I'm saying Stuttgart. What's his name? Eintracht Frankfurt rejected a 70 million
Yeah,
plus add-on
yeah.
bid
It was
by.
expected them to reject the first. So I'm expecting PSG to get a second offer. They probably like was looking to see, okay, let me give this to see what how. But they were expecting for because like as soon as it was sent, like they said that it's expected to be rejected.
And for the Italian league that just started this weekend, well, started on Saturday with Inter Milan versus Monza. Inter Milan won 2-0.
Once I be
Empoli,
giving them some problems, so
yeah, it seems
surprising.
like they're a well coached team. Double by Lautaro Martinez, captain of the club. Hopefully, it's his last year in Italy. We'll see. Empoli versus Verona. Verona won 1-0. Napoli versus Frosinone. Victor Osimhen coming back hot
The
as
doublete.
hot as ever. Two goals. Uh, Napoli won that game 3-1. Fiorentina versus Genoa. Fiorentina won the game 4-1. And you know, my man did not play because he's just waiting, and the club is just waiting for them
He's the problem, maybe.
to
I
to
don't
to
know.
to be sold. Like Sofian
Oh,
Amrabat
Luka
is
Jokic?
just no
Like
no
Luka Jovic?
no Sofian Amrabat.
Oh, I thought you were looking
Yeah,
at. Okay,
no
my bad.
no. Like he was just sat on the bench. They didn't play him because the club is just waiting for the bid to come in so that they could
That
actually
bit ain't
sell him.
coming anytime soon.
Dead ass. Irish Roma versus Salatina on Sunday. The game ended. Excuse me. Sorry. The game ended in a draw 2-2. Sassuolo versus Atalanta. Atalanta won 2-0. Lecce versus Lazio. Lazio won 2-1. And Juve coming back won versus Udinese 3-0. And Dusan Vlahovic got on the score sheet with a penalty.
Hmm.
And Richie, while I go get some water because I'm obviously dying, would you mind telling us the results of today's games?
Yeah, so today's game there was a AC Milan who beat Bologna 2-0, and Torino and Cagliari was left with a 0-0 mutual agreement. And I believe that was it for today. And Mike, if you want, I can do the next one, which is the Ligue.
Yep. Yep. Go ahead.
Okay. Ligue, my favorite league. People kind of like people be like, huh? Like, yeah, I'd be waking at 7 a.m. to watch Lille versus Nantes on a
I'm
Sunday.
people.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm people.
Yes. So what'd you say? I don't
I'm people. I'm judging you, Richie.
people be like, so Metz and Marseille, very, very vibrant game, very like energetic game, 2-2. Um, even though Metz had a red card, it still ended at 2-2. I was thinking, I'm like, damn, Mike is gonna probably say, like, I told you guys about Marseille.
I was
But no,
thinking
it's still
about it.
early.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, nah,
Give it
man,
some time.
it's yeah, it's early.
It's a new formation, new coach, new players, kind of like implemented with all the players. Kongobdia needs to kind of figure it out really um what he's doing. And there's a lot of things to talk about. But Lyon in trouble. They lost against Montpellier 4-1. I don't know if you saw the question that they asked Laurent Blanc. They're like, what do you think needs to be done? And he said maybe you have to change the coach. Talking about
Whoa,
himself.
wow.
Toulouse and PSG 1-1. PSG still trying to figure it out their game with the new coach, Luis Enrique, possession guy. Reims versus Clermont Foot 2-0. Reims won. Lorient, after tying against PSG last week, they tied again against Nice 1-1. Good result for them. Monaco beat Strasbourg 3-0. Le Havre lost against Brest 2-1. Lens and Rennes left each other with 1-1. Lens who lost Fofana this summer to Saudi Arabia. And that was it for Ligue 1. And I
Yep.
think we're just missing Premier League, right?
Yes, sir.
The Mike's League.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Nottingham Forest beat Sheffield United 2-1. Luton Town and Burnley, they had a postponed game. Liverpool beat Bournemouth 3-1, even with red card for Liverpool. Wolves lost against Brighton 4-1. Fulham lost against Brentford 3-0. Tottenham beat Manchester United 2-0. Aston Villa, they beat Everton 4-0. Manchester City beat Newcastle 1-0, and West Ham United beat Chelsea 3-1. And the game for today was Crystal Palace, who lost against Arsenal 1-0. Seems that there was like one, two, three, four, five red cards this weekend for for the Premier League.
Indeed,
But yeah,
there was.
that was the results for the game, Quick Bites. And yeah, and the major announcement also, Mike. We was waiting to to say after that, the Women's World Cup
Mm-hmm.
is over, and my pick, Spain, they won the final against England 1-0, scored by Olga Carmona at the 29th minutes. It's Spain's first World Cup. It would have been the first World Cup for each one of them, regardless, but it's Spain's first World Cup. And it would seem that there's some controversy also about what happened after the World Cup, when the
Nasty man.
nasty man,
Mhm.
he apologized for it, but not sure what he was trying to accomplish by that, but really awkward moment. Um, I don't know, just awkward moment. But Spain, the women's FIFA World Cup 2023 winner of this year. Let's get it.
Should have bet some money.
I know, right? I just had a feeling that they were gonna win after the quarterfinal. I'm like, yeah, they playing very beautiful. They have talented um like they have talented players that works for them. Like it's just like the way they play as well. The way they it's like it's a mixture of Barcelona and Real Madrid, man.
All
All
right.
right.
Let's get into them. Let's get into one of our topics for today, man. Chelsea versus West Ham. Obviously, not the result that Chelsea wanted. Lost 3-1. In my opinion, it was an abysmal debut for Moises Caicedo. Um, and a lot of taglines were bad day at the office for the $200 million men for Chelsea, with Enzo Fernandez missing a penalty in the first half, and Moises Caicedo coming on missing. Not really under. I don't know. I don't know if it's just the fact that he hasn't played football in a while, but
Yeah, I think that plays a factor also.
completely lost on the field, didn't really sense danger, lost so many balls, and then obviously, conceded the last penalty with the poorly timed tackle that just gave Lucas Paqueta the opportunity to kill the game on the penalty spot. But I mean, I don't know. Richie, did you watch the game? If you watched the game, what are your thoughts?
My
Uh,
my the positive I think Chelsea should take out of it is that Jackson is gonna be very good for them. He's a very physical striker and has pace, like Gaetan was saying on the chat. That's gonna be very positive in a league like that. You need your strikers to be very physical. You need your strikers to be able to take a hit from the defenders and also to be able to maintain possession for your midfield. And as well, when you need to add pace, it's needed. I think that's the positive that they can maintain, that they're gonna have a good striker. Also, like another positive is that Carney is also a very good midfielder. Carney Chukwemeka. He is injured, but like they were saying, it's not a serious injury. Or there's a couple scan that has to be done. However, I think players like Gallagher doesn't have their place on it. But overall, I feel like Chelsea on the right path in terms of the young players that they have. There's some good young players like Enzo, Caicedo that they have right now, Jackson, Carney, and also injured. What's the French guy named again, Mike?
and Kuku.
And Kunku. So they have a very good base. However, the defense is not too good to me. But I'm not sure because they started the game very well with good intensity, but some key errors, and I would say like in a positive, they have very good young players that are gonna they're gonna be able to build from.
Mhm.
I'm not 100% sure if Mudrik is as well as has a very low confidence, but he did ask to be patient with him. He's very young as well, and honestly, man, it's just that I think Kiera's um not on not on par yet with each other. And well, it was a missed penalty as well. I feel like the striker should have taken this, but I think like I was telling you, Enzo was like, "Yo, this is my team. Like give me the ball." Like, but overall, I think that there's a lot of positive that needs to be retained from the game. I feel like West Ham that team was playing. They've been playing for with each other for a long period of a time. Instead of just Ward Prowse, who's the latest acquisition, but everyone has been in the team. They have chemistry. They know their players. They know their runs. Antonio is a guy like I know Antonio is he's the first 6 week guy. Like first 6 weeks, you're gonna hear about Antonio. Then after that, he's gonna disappear. So a very good strike. I feel like it was difficult for the goalie because like it was like a strike in front of the defender. I think Caldwell should have done better in that situation. But I think there's some positive that Chelsea has to retain. They're gonna be okay. It's gonna be a process. Um, I know it's a team that paid a lot of money, so they require the media and us like what we're doing right now. We're gonna require for more. Obviously, we want more, but I think that there's a lot of new players, man. It's gonna take time. It's just week 2. But a little bit disappointing because I feel like it's a game that they could have won if they were more calm on the ball, and took chances that they were supposed to take. But yeah, man, I'm just gonna say it again. There's some positive that you can maintain out of the game.
Yeah.
Retain, sorry, not maintain.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I'll even go further than you. Like, I think I think it's they were the better team
Yeah, yeah.
by far. I think until
Sterling had a very good game, like
yeah, like
surprisingly.
for 75 to 80 minutes, I think Raheem Sterling was by far, no, it's not even close, the best player
In the field,
on the
collapsing
field.
defense,
You
making
know,
putting a lot of pressure so they can foul him and stuff
uh,
like that. Yeah,
yeah, 100%, and a few better passes here and there from him as well. We're
not his
probably talk,
expertise, Mike.
yeah, definitely not. And we're talking about maybe a completely different performance where Chelsea completely obliterates West Ham United. It's unfortunate that Chukwuemeka got injured right before halftime. He was having a great performance as well. Scored the goal, the only goal for Chelsea. But yeah, man. But to the point that you made earlier about Mudryk, like lacking confidence, that also brings me to question the reason why. And obviously, you know, everybody's gonna go back and it's like, yo, the reason why, Mike. It's money. Like it's money. Like I come to questions like in this situation where Chelsea is right now, especially for the last two transfer window coming into this window, that they add more players. That's why, to a certain extent, I'm not so shocked that Olise actually re-signed with Crystal Palace. It just shows me that he might have a good head on his shoulders and he's actually smart, unlike other players. Because I'm like questioning, like, if Chelsea comes to you right now, why would you accept a contract from them? They
I
have
mean,
a
yeah,
they have a million players, bro. Like, why would you want to do that? Like, I don't get it. Like in the case of Mudryk, he's just lucky, like at this point, and it's unfortunate to say it, but I said it in a group chat. He's lucky that the team has injuries now. That's the only reason why he's going to get some type of significant minutes. It doesn't matter that they spent $100 million on him at this point. Like, he's just bad. Like, and asking for time, like he was gonna be down the pecking order behind Chukwumeka and Kuku. Now, if they also added Olise, that's another player that you were gonna be down the pecking order from. So I just don't understand it. I feel like he did the worst thing for his career at this point instead of joining Arsenal. And now the minutes that he's going to get with that team right now, he's going to have to capitalize on, and he's not going to have the time that he's asking for people to have in him, because it's Chelsea. The turnaround is quick. Like, managers don't last long there. Like, so if Pochettino starts getting scrutinized, even though they just spent, $1 billion rebuilding the club, and it's a whole bunch of new players having to adapt to his style, and they have to have cohesion and they have to build chemistry and all that stuff, they're just not going to allow him the time, man. It's just not going to happen. And we're just going to see a guy just like, himself, like Pulisic came into the club and he showed promise, and he was driven out the club. Unfortunately, he never got to have an extended run in the team because he was always getting injured. But it's just gonna happen. So I just question players going to Chelsea at this time, because there's just enough players right now. There's enough players. If it's not a position like, okay, like goalkeeper, for example, like Robert Sanchez, like he took the contract. It's like, okay, Kippa, nobody likes Kippa anyways. Like, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get a shot. Like, and then he goes out the club, and you're the number one goalkeeper. Reece James seems like he's getting injured a lot. Kukurea, he's a dog water player. So, Ben Chilwell is the only real left back on the team. So, like, as a left back, you're probably thinking, it's like, okay, yeah, I have an opportunity. And even then, Lewis Hall, I think that's his name, the young kid, the young 18-year-old left back, he's rumored to be leaving the club because he
I
has
think
good.
he did.
He
Isn't
already
he?
did.
Didn't I see him somewhere in another
Newcastle,
team?
Newcastle already bought him. Was it
What's his
Newcastle?
name again?
Hall, I think. Lewis.
I
Uh,
think I swear I saw. I saw
But
him this weekend somewhere.
yeah, man. Overall, I think it was a really good performance from Chelsea. I'm really scared of that team. I think they have the talent, like you said. Watching the game at the weekend, even though he missed the penalty, I am convinced of Enzo Fernandez's quality.
Okay, you're on
You know,
board.
yeah, I'm convinced of his qualities. The only thing I would say is like get off dead balls. Like don't like look, unless you're proven, like you're a I don't know, a Luka Modric, Tony Cruz, Bruno Fernandez, who has a good track record with penalties for the time being at the moment. Like, give your strikers the penalties, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like it would have been a great moment for Jackson
a hundred.
get a feel for the goal. And yeah, like you said, Mike Hall is actually in Newcastle right now. Um, yeah, I feel like I think he took initiative as a like looking around and be like, yo, we need like a statement, and maybe that's why he took initiative. And then, well, unfortunately, he missed. But I'm seeing a guy that can lead the team. If he can get a minimum of English,
But
I think he's gonna be one of the leaders in the team.
that's my thing, though. Like, it's okay, and you're showing the character, you're showing the initiative, you're showing the drive, but you got veterans like Raheem Sterling. For example, when Chilwell left the field, Chilwell, gave the armband to Thiago Silva, who is arguably, a veteran of the game. The guy's nearly 40 years old. He's been around top clubs his whole entire
He
life.
don't even look 40, bro. He's
But
not playing like 40.
100% not. And Chilwell gave him the armband, but he passes it off to Enzo. In my opinion, it's like, yo, no, you go to Raheem Sterling in that situation. In my opinion, like I cannot like I don't know what Thiago Silva's English level is at, but I know for damn sure Enzo Fernandez can't speak a lick of English. Like I just know that for a fact. Like he cannot say thank you. Like I know that for a fact. Like he
So
can't
you
say
cannot say thank you.
he can't say thank you. He can't say please. Like I know that for a fact. So like that's my problem with it. It's like yo you're showing, but yo you gotta lay the groundwork first, man. You gotta show that you gotta show those little things first. Like you can't be an ambassador of the club. Like you can't even communicate with the referees, dog. Like what are you gonna do? Like I think there's like little things and intricacies
Yeah.
like at the club right now that Pochettino has to figure out first. It's
Mm-hmm.
like yeah, I get it. Like, Fabo brought a good point. It's like, yo, we're showing him that, yeah, like we're behind you, even though you missed a penalty, we're together, et cetera, et cetera. But like, it's more than that. Like at the end of the day, like, captain, you know, more than like leadership on the pitch, like you have to be like able to be an ambassador for the team as well. You got to be able to communicate with players and the referees and the
Yes.
staff and the coaches and all that stuff. So that was one thing that kind of annoyed me watching the game at the weekend. I don't know if you probably saw that because I was like, I was
No, I
sent,
saw when
sent
you asked,
I
I didn't
was
even
yeah
realize that.
yeah I was sending messages about it. I was like, wait, what's going on here? Like, why would he get the captain's armband? Like, you've been at the club 6 months. Um, but overall, I'm really impressed with what Pochettino has done so far, and the team unfortunately started on a bad note because they're getting in injuries in key areas of the pitch that they actually need, and some of their big money signings haven't started off so well. But overall, from the performance that I saw, Sterling said "Watch, I'm gonna be the top scorer of Chelsea this year." He kind of started off on a note that he's like,
Nah, he
"Yo,
plays
I'm willing,
very well. Like
I'm
he
willing
gave the
to,
defenders some problems.
yeah." He's like, "I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is and perform." And he's been performing, and I could see why he's actually starting ahead of guys like what's the other English kid's name? Noni Madueke, for
Yeah.
example,
No,
who actually
yeah. But if you look at it overall, like you look at on Chelsea's guys that are not here, like let's say Nkunku when he starts, and with the established squad that they have, and Badiashile comes
yeah.
back soon, they have a solid team. And they're gonna be very offensive because Ben Chilwell, he's a striker at this point.
I'm gonna, yeah, dead ass. Like, I'm gonna put you on the spot real quick though.
Yeah.
In your opinion, what is their best 11 right now starting?
Their best 11?
Yeah,
Okay.
like if in the formation that you've seen that they played at the weekend under Pochettino, with all the
Okay.
players that they have on the squad,
Yeah.
who should be their starting 11? Like, what's their
All
best
right.
in your opinion?
Um, is okay. So I can't remember if Badiashile is a left or right.
He's lefty.
He's a lefty, so okay. He will start over Caldwell. So and
Okay.
Thiago Silva in the middle as a veteran and organizing, and like you said, he's a very good guy. Like he just doesn't make so much errors. And then you have Disasi on the right. Oh, you mean like with no injuries?
Yeah, with no injuries.
So
Like
I
we
would
like
probably
what?
have Fofana on that side. I don't remember if Fofana's a left or right. I think he's
No,
a
he's right.
righty.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
righty.
so I'll have Fofana. I think he's slightly better in Disasi. In the midfield of two, it will be Fernandez and Caicedo, where Caicedo kind of drops a little bit, give Fernandez a little bit liberty as a box to box guy to distribute the ball and get the wingers and everyone involved, and fullbacks. Ben Cholo would I think he can start on the left. Obviously, I don't see who can I don't see who's gonna fucking you know what I'm talking about. And on the right, unfortunately, Reece James is always injured, but he's their best right wing back.
Mhm.
And the kind of diamond three would be Sterling and Kunku and Jackson.
Okay. Okay.
Am I
Because
missing someone?
no, you're not missing anybody.
Oh,
I just thought it was like because so they bought Caicedo and Lavia as well. So that's the thing I'm talking about. It's like, yo, where like there's so many cooks in the kitchen, man. I'm like, yo, bro, who's cooking my steak, bro? Who's cooking my steak, dog? Like, why like who's doing it? Like so like I'm like, all right, like you got Caicedo, you got Enzo, you got Lavia, and everybody's just talking about it's like, oh, that's the new midfield trio. And Pochettino's gonna forego the back five and he's gonna go to a 4-3-3. I'm like, all right,
yeah, he
man.
could. I
So,
mean, like depending
yeah,
of the game, maybe he switches it in the future. But I'm just going by the formation I saw against West Ham.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
and that's why I'm thinking like he might stick with
and they're gonna need another goalkeeper.
because
I'm not saying Sanchez is a bad goalkeeper or anything, but I feel like Chelsea in the past year and a half or two, they haven't had any solid goalkeeper. They need to put their hands in a good goalkeeper because in the next year or two, they're gonna be looking for another goalkeeper. And I think
100%.
they need a backup because they just lost Kepa and on loan to Real Madrid. But they need to figure it out and look over and be like, okay, this is gonna be my franchise goalkeeper for the next 3-4 years, like they had with Courtois. I know it's difficult; they don't have much, but you have money, man. You're gonna have to grab someone.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
That is our thoughts about
Thank
Chelsea
you,
at the
Chelsea.
moment. All right, so let's go to Spain for
Okay.
Real Madrid.
Okay.
To be fair, two I would say lower of the table teams. What would you say? What would you call them? You would call them mid-table or lower of the table team, bottom half of the
Cool.
table teams, the teams that Madrid played.
Oh, so the first week they played against who did they play the first week? Hold
They
on.
just played Almeria, right? Was it
Almeria,
Cadiz?
and they played Athletic Bilbao. So to me, Athletic Bilbao is like a mid-table, like a 7, 8, sometimes 9, depending of their situation. So they're mid-table to me, and they're very good. They have history, but they're mid-table at the moment. And Almeria to me is a lower tier, like right above relegation, and can probably be relegated. So, and they start with 2 losses too. So yeah, one is a mid-table and one is a like releg relegation and above relegation, like one spot over.
Hmm. So, I mean, for me personally, I don't think I think Real Madrid played better last game for sure, but it didn't start well. Um, they also have injuries, unfortunately. Courtois is done for the season. Same thing for Eder Militao. Um, both. ACL injuries for both of them.
Too much
So,
games.
you know, that's a fact. Um, yeah, like for me, like I'm not sold on this formation yet, but one bright light is that as compared to other players who made big money moves, Jude Bellingham is proving to be quite cheap. He's proving to be quite cheap, actually. Like the way he's starting his performance at Real Madrid right at this moment, he could have went for at least 150 mil, like in my
Honestly, the great thing
opinion.
about what I'm liking about him is that he's not shy. I know he doesn't speak a lick of Spanish, but he's gelling very well with the team.
Mhm.
He hangs out more with the guy that speaks more English, but he's very like comfortable speaking to Lucas Vasquez. I don't know how much Spanish that he has, or if it's just broken words. He's a good friend with Diaz, but in the field also he's not shy. Like after scoring those two goals, you saw what he did with his hands going to the rival crowd.
Stands, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I've been there before, man. Like,
And
like yeah.
and watching his performance, I can understand why he was captaining Dortmund at such a young age. Like the dude just he just oozes leadership, man. And that's the thing I appreciate. But um, I saw a tweet from a friend of ours and, kind of said like, hey, Jude Bellingham is taking over for Vinicius at Real Madrid as the main guy. Now, what are your thoughts on a comment like that? Do you think that's fair?
I don't think it's fair because um I've there's always that first 3 4 weeks that you do very well sometimes when you're signings where you're scoring, and then it's gonna get difficult. We haven't seen the difficult part yet. And to me, it's not fair because the new formation, like we mentioned last pod, and also from observation of looking at the games, it doesn't favor Vinicius Jr. He needs to change his game, and it's not easy on players. Even with players with high quality, it's not. You see where he operates now. He doesn't have the liberty to always be on the that far part of the wing where he can take one when he can take the defenders 1-on-1, and when he takes defenders 1-on-1 and he gets by those defenders, he's very comfortable getting inside and then either pick a pass or take a shot or cut in and then take a shot. But now he has to operate in a side that he did something in the last game that he's never done before. Like he he turned, he beat his defender and he took a long range shot. Doesn't do that often, but he
Yeah.
understands that I need to start figuring out how to score in different ways. Remember when Cristiano Ronaldo had that interview? He said that it's not like he can't dribble anymore, but he needs to figure out how to score for that team, and that's what he's gonna have to figure it out. And he did something very impressive when he scored yesterday. He took the ball, he turned and took a shot. Well, he couldn't dribble in that part of the field anyways, but
Yeah.
he took a chance, like he's like, okay, I have to score. I have to score. I'm in front of the goal. I have to score, and he did. I don't think it's fair. I think Bellingham is more on more comfortable in the position he's playing right now. He's having that free role, like
Mhm.
he's in that diamond kind of front where Rodrigo, and Rodrigo's not, he's not comfortable. Also,
Yeah.
those two guys gonna have to take a hit. But Bellingham, out of those three in this in that diamond, he has a free role to be anywhere he wants in the field. So I feel like that's more easy for him to kind of, obviously he's implemented into a new league, a new team, figuring out his new teammates. But when you have talent, it makes it easier for you. But I feel like the way he's operating right now, it's easier for him to understand his role versus Vinicius understanding his role and being effective. Because he's not, like I said, he's not always in the wing anymore. He needs to always cut it in a little bit, operating the side that he has not ever operated before. So it's not fair. It seems like that, but it's not fair. That's what I was remember when I was in the group chat. I'm like, damn, Vinicius is gonna start crying because it's not working out for him like the way but it demands time. It's a new lineup, it's a new shape. Doesn't have that much space that he has before, so There's sometimes he's gonna have to release the ball a little bit quicker and ask for the ball back, like like quick 1-2s, like give it to Cruz. Cruz is gonna find him. He's a smart play or whoever, Camavinga or Modric or Valverde. But it's those runs that's gonna matter, like the little like runs behind the defenders, very time. Like that's how he's gonna have to score when he get to the space. He's gonna beat defenders, and then taking your chances with your strikes. So he's gonna have to work on his um on his strikes a lot. And I feel like week by week 5, 6, he's gonna be comfortable. He's gonna figure it out.
I hope so. Good
Yeah,
thing for him though. He scored. He scored. He got off the mark and he scored. So that's
take a pressure.
that
Yeah.
takes a lot of pressure
Yeah,
off
Rodrigo
of
could have
him.
scored also last game. He had a very good strike in the first half. I think it was very close. But
Yeah.
Rodrigo is not also. Sometimes you're gonna see Rodrigo like kind of combining with Carvajal, getting to that side and also getting in. Sometimes he drops, play a little bit with the defense. I mean the midfield. That's a guy that kind of like showing like, okay, I need to figure it out. But most of the time he's gonna have to be like up there. But I think those are smart guys. They're gonna figure it out. I think it's not fair yet to say that statement yet. So, but we're gonna see. Week 4, week 5, week 6. I think Vinicius is gonna be comfortable. And like you said, that goal that he scored took a lot of like pressure off him. And he's gonna
Hopefully,
have to make himself more available as well in the box. I know he's not a header guy, but you need to kind of be more inside the box sometimes when Carvajal got the ball. Where did he go? If they need to find someone far post like Valverde found him in the final against Liverpool, he's
mm,
gonna have to get in those spots more often.
yeah, I think that's another thing too that was kind of frustrating, and I think that scares me at the same time is that from the two games that I've watched Real Madrid play, I think they're asking so much of Jude Bellingham because he's not only going attacking the box because it's needed because they have no forward threat
Yeah,
whatsoever. So your attackers are essentially Vinicius, Rodrigo, and Bellingham. So he has to attack the box as well, but also he has to track back to defend.
yeah,
And in the first game, you saw he made some wonderful tackles.
yeah.
Like he made some wonderful tackles, but I'm like, yo, dude, you can't like this kid can't do this for
True.
50
Yeah,
games, man. Like,
it's
you're
gonna add on his muscles. Like
like
I'm not sure if you saw Camavinga with the wrap
yeah.
around his. He had like a muscle fatigue because
It's
he
like
does a lot.
uh,
Camavinga like so yeah. So they're gonna have to. I think Ancelotti has to figure that out also. Like tell these guys that you attack the box sometimes.
and then there's the knowing your personnel situation where I saw Fran Garcia like, just crossing the ball and I'm like, why are you crossing the ball at that height? Like Rodrigo is 5'10". Like why? Like he's never
Unless it's a clear
like I'm
yeah,
saying 5'10". He's like 5'9". Like he's never reaching that ball. Like
yeah,
there was a good cross that he made and Rodrigo was in good position, but he just crossed it so high. And I'm like, yo,
yeah.
dude, know
It
your
needs to be like
personnel.
perfect, like
Yeah.
in certain situation where it's needed to cross it. Yeah, but yeah, you gotta wait for Jose Lu to come in to do that, buddy. Like,
But yeah, overall, I'm with Richie. I think it's a little premature to call Jude Bellingham, the boss and
nah,
taking
that's
over
too
for Real
early, man.
Madrid. As much as excited as I am, that he started off so hot, and I love Jude Bellingham as a player as well, but I can't say that yet, man.
Nah, I'm not gonna say that because there's a
I
lot of
can't
other
say
players that are doing their
that.
job very well. Like
Yeah.
Charmin, he's been playing solid. Um, yeah, man, it's too early. Like I think the 3 goals that Bellingham is kind of making it a little bit pretty as well. But he's doing well. He's very not shy. He's doing a lot for the team, like you're saying. He's scoring when we're saying like where are those goals gonna come, and he's making himself available to do so. But like I said, it's not too fair yet to Vinicius until he figures out how to operate on that new role.
All righty. Anything else you want to add, Rich?
I think what Vinicius and Rodrigo needs to do is kind of like plot together. Like, okay, at sometimes you're gonna stay up front and I'm gonna be your support, where we're gonna combine to free yourself a little bit. And at other times, you do the opposite. Rodrigo drops a little bit, and then Vinicius stays up front, and you guys do a couple quick twos, and then Rodrigo finds you with the runs from the back of the defender, and you guys both are fast. It's very difficult to get them. They're gonna have to plot together. Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
No Manchester United talk this week.
Yeah.
All right, man. I don't have anything else to add. I don't know if you had anything else to add.
No, you just pre-comment. You said pre-production when you said that Ant-Man had the same amount of points that RJ
Oh.
Barrett is saying, but like you said, RJ Barrett was playing against scrubs, I guess.
Yeah, so they brought a lot of people, I'm
They
still
just
calling
hate
it
that boy,
I'm,
man.
I'm still calling it Twitter. I'm not calling it X. Like Elon Musk can
Oh,
fuck Elon Musk
I
can
still
fuck
have the
off.
same logo, yeah, because I haven't
Yeah.
updated it yet.
Yeah. But oh man, you're lucky. Like mine just I guess my iPhone just had auto update and it just
No, I
auto
don't have
update.
auto update.
I just opened it and it just had a big ass X on my screen. I was
You're
like,
like,
oh
ah,
man. But yeah, man. So Anthony Edwards played against Germany as well, just like RJ Barrett did, and everybody's just going off. Kendrick Perkins calling him was like, "Yo, we found a new face of the league." Little dude looking like prime MJ mixed with Kobe, and they're like,
when
you
they
know,
don't like you, they don't like you.
at
It's so
Germany,
simple.
Germany was leading USA by 16 points. Anthony Edwards put on a dominating performance, but RJ Barrett also put on a dominating performance, beating the same team, scoring more efficiently. I think he only missed one shot that game, and everybody was saying like, yeah, like he was playing against Germany though. Like he was
Yeah,
playing
bro.
he was playing against a whole bunch of milk delivery guys.
That's crazy, bro. Like, but it's just that okay. But he needs to do something this year. He needs to come into the season and improve in every aspect of the game so that they can take him a little bit serious.
100%. But I think there's also the Knicks agenda as well. I mean, just like I said, I sent to the group chat, the New York Daily News like had such
Negative
a
to say.
like yeah, it was such a weird
Yeah.
headline, man. Like for one of your own, like I
Nah, it's New York, bro.
even if Jalen Brunson wasn't playing well, like
Oh, they had like something that was saying that Halliburton should be the starter and stuff like that. Is that okay? Whatever. The FIBA competition I ain't even start yet, bro. Like y'all already like killing them.
I think it's like it's a
Just
whole
like
thing
Jefferson
against the
said, man, the Knicks haters are the Knicks haters at first, and that's why people are making fun of them. But yeah, it is what it is. Oh,
yeah.
and did you see the Mbappe celebration?
I did not. I just know he scored from the penalty spot,
Yeah,
right?
and then he went
Yeah.
and then went to the ultras and be like, and someone said, "Man, this guy suffers from double personality. Like, ain't you want to leave like in 2 weeks or 3 weeks?" Like, yeah, man. And they're
Yeah.
saying that according to news online from I think I said according to Build, they said that there's an offer coming in 2 days before the transfer ends for about like 120 million, which is expected to be rejected from Real Madrid
Four.
for Mbappe.
Oh,
I
for
don't
Mbappe. Oh, okay,
know at
okay,
this
okay,
point,
okay.
man.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
saying there's transfer. I mean, there's rumors that Mbappe is gonna renew with PSG.
I mean, he
So
could
many
do whatever.
rumors, man.
He could
Yeah,
do whatever he wants, man.
I just need a striker, man. Get me Dusan.
get anyone.
Get me Dusan, bro. Like, get me someone.
Get Kolomwani, get anybody, man.
Yeah, man.
Alrighty.
Before we close, I think
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say that Ramos is gonna have a lot of issues with PSG. With
Why?
those two wingers, he ain't gonna see nothing, bro.
Oh.
He gonna be looking for scraps. He gonna be looking for scraps. Because I was looking at that, I'm like, oh, this is what's gonna be like. Dembele looking for Mbappe on the side. They're looking for each other. I'm like, oh, Ramos gonna be just looking for scraps. Oh man. Yeah.
uh but Luis Enrique, got a whole new squad, so he has to reintegrate everybody. It's
I see the vision.
yeah.
Very possession guy. Ugate's your guy is playing very well, organizing. They were making fun of him like he's very tough, like he was making a lot of fouls. but he's very like organizing everything. They're saying that they want Kang Lee to kind of be that milieu relayeur, yeah, for them, and like kind of like organizing a little bit sometimes.
You think he moves into midfield and they drop another guy instead
I'm not sure
when
because like they play a
Mbappe becomes a
4-3-3,
starter?
so
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm.
think
That's what.
maybe they drop Vitinha and they get him on that left side, but kind of like organizing a little bit, and then having Fabian Ruiz on the other side or another because they're looking for another midfielder to replace the maybe going to Saudi Arabia Verratti. So they were even talking about like which would have been a great guy for them, to be honest. They were looking at Griezmann. Ooh, he would have done so much for them. So we'll see.
We'll see what happens with them.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be following. I'll wait for your updates on them.
No, I got you. You know it's my favorite league. I got you. All right. This was it.
Thank you for listening, guys. Thank you for tuning in. As always, like Richie usually tells you guys, show will be available on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Episode 65.
Yeah. Thank you. Peace.
Peace.